What's the difference between centering prayer and contemplative prayer? Let me give you a couple of ideas to help explain this common question, because they aren't exactly the same thing, though they're clearly related. Let's start with centering prayer first. Centering prayer is what you might say a vehicle that can lead to contemplative prayer. Centering prayer is essentially the technique that we use that allows us to surrender and consent to God's presence in our lives. And centering prayer helps us to consent to God's work deep in our lives by us surrendering the things that happen inside of us, whether it's thoughts, feelings, ideas. We continually return to our intention of sitting with God in silence. And what that practice does, what that us coming to God essentially with open hands does, that's what centering prayer is. It's a surrender practice. That puts us in a position where we may receive God's gift of contemplation. So contemplative prayer is really God's side. It's the gift of God's presence. It's what we talk about when we speak of union with God. It's those moments where you experience God beyond words, beyond our thoughts about God. It's when God speaks out of absolute silence and speaks without words in absolute silence. That's a really brief answer to the question, but I think that gets to the heart. So think of centering prayer as the road that can lead to the experience of contemplative prayer. Now, there's other ways to experience contemplative prayer. Centering prayer is just one of the ways that we can put ourselves in a position to receive that gift that God gives us of contemplation. Hope this helps. If you have other questions about centering prayer or contemplative practices, it'd be a real privilege to serve you. Feel free to email me your questions or put them in the comments to this video. You can email me at brian@brianrussellphd.com. If you'd like to receive my monthly centering prayer update, you can sign up for it at centeringprayerbook.com. Until next time, live by faith, be known by love, and be a voice of hope to others.